Afternoon. Should I get SoCal 12 for Forza? I just need to make sure I can see the little mic light. Uh, Next installment of track guides for Thursday Night Thunder and the Mazda 323. Fortunately, didn't get the tune. Tune was finalized very late. A little too late for me to put the track guide together for Mid Ohio and and Suzuka, but race action was very good. Again, we're still using that whole bounce performance based off tire strategy seems to work really well. So hopefully that'll continue next week as we head to Eaglerock Speedway here, and then I think it's at the race 2 is at Mugello. Again, both short courses. So we'll start with the Eagle Rock. The club circuit, so with the chicane on the back. So like I do for all the track guides, I'm just going to go run a couple of laps just to get a feel for for what the car wants to do. Then probably do kind of a track walk, though. Really, it's just going to be probably talking about how to get into turn one and the chicane. I think once you're out of the chicane and back onto the track, it's pretty much hold your foot to the floor through turns 3 and 4. So hopefully this will be a short track guide, and then again, because I do like to practice a little bit against some traffic just to get an idea what I can and can't do in the car. I run a mock race, trying to figure out how long the race length will be, and we'll go from there. So with that, let's just go ahead. We're in test drive in ideal conditions. Let's see what happens. The other thing is I just do want to make sure that I'm running, I have to run hard tire compounds with a full load of fuel. So that's fun. Let's go ahead and start the race. Okay, so again, as we talked about, it turns 3 and 4. Maybe a little bit of push until the tires get up to 10. But you should be able to floor it out. 4th gear. All right, 2 philosophies for turn 1. I'm going to do the relaxed method first, which is just let off the gas, turn the wheel. Again, tires under the temp, so you can see the push. Brake right at the end of that patch there. It's probably still a little early. 3rd gear. I like first for the chicane. I'm not in rhythm yet, so 1st gear, 2nd gear. Out. You'll come off the bottom a little bit on that exit, but then I still think, for me, I'm probably going to hug the bottom as long as I can, and then just let the car, and then unwind the wheel back out. So let's try the relaxed method into 1, where it's just as I get to the patch there, just going to ease off the gas and turn the wheel. Probably could back off a little sooner. Maybe the tires aren't up to temperature yet, but it pushes me a little wide, so I'll probably just ease off the gas sooner there next time. Ooh, that was a little late. You can use a lot more curbing than that. So we'll do one more. Tell you what, I'm going to do the not so relaxed method. And if you want to be a little more aggressive and use the brakes into the corner, same kind of thing. Bring the car down as soon as you hit the patch. Just quick check brake. Follow the line out. Right. All right. So we'll kind of do the slow track walk here. So again, out of 3 and 4, you pretty much can floor it. For me, on the hard tire compound, when they get up to temp, I'm going to hug this low line as much as I can, because it's like I'm already giving up grip, as far as acceleration and cornering grip. I don't want to give up distance. So if you're going to pass me on a softer tire compound, you're going to have to do it the hard way. So coming into the first corner, again, 4th gear. When your tires are up to temp, for me, it's this big patch of repaved asphalt that I'm kind of keying off of, as far as a reference with the braking line. Again, 2 philosophies. You can either, if you want to gently arc it in, you can just kind of back off the gas, roll the car in, and then just through the steering and just let the car just kind of scrub down naturally, and then you'll be getting back to throttle probably a little bit later as you're coming out of 2. Or If you want to get a little more aggressive, it's pretty much you can hit the, do a quick brake when you hit the patch, probably getting off as you get off of it before, and definitely before you get to the next one, gets the car settled in, and you can get right back to the throttle and balance the car through the rest of the corner. I'm not sure which one is faster than the other. I think the race will dictate the method that I'm using. Um, for me, coming through one and then through two, I'm gonna hug the inside as much as I can, and then just let the car start to drift back out to the right on exit, like you would normally do in an oval. What I'm aiming for is this next patch of asphalt that's got the little, kind of like the little L, because you see the little bit that's off to the left. That's what I'm kind of looking for. It also kind of correlates with where the pit exit line kind of joins back up right before the wall straightens out. So I don't have a definitive break here point, but it's like it the zone starts about here. The line, the practice line for the section timing when you're practicing is actually probably about where you should be braking. Experiment with it. Um, Unfortunately, it's not there during the race. I'd say too late if you look at the where the next Eaglerock Speedway lettering on the wall is. The start of that's too late. So it's somewhere, maybe as you pass the yellow on the right side here, you hit the end of that. Maybe it's about halfway between the black. You could look at the catch fence. So there's different reference points. If you can get something that you can spot and using your peripheral vision to say, as I'm passing this, I know this is when I need to brake. The other thing I'm gun shy on, it's probably from the control usage, is in trying to carry, it's like I said, I'm on throttle at this point. I'm back full throttle. And depending on the angle of the car, if I still have a little bit of steering, still have a little bit of weight on the right side of the car, if I get too close to the wall and hit the brakes, it might be enough for the car to push right and scrape the wall or tag the wall and really slow me down. So I'm probably going to leave myself maybe half to a full car width to the right side, um, just to give me some wiggle room if the car pushes right as I get to the brakes, because I don't want to hit this wall at all and mess up the entry. So hopefully maybe I'll be out here. Gary, I'm still trying to figure this out because you're in fourth gear at this point. I'm definitely going down to third. It's just a question of, do I go down to second here, or do I wait and do that a little bit later? But I want to try and late apex this one. More often than not, the momentum's probably going to carry us over all the way to the right side, kind of like if you're following the suggested line. Uh, yeah, I'm still kind of playing around with that one. Traffic will dictate it too, but at least third gear at this point. Now probably for the trickiest turn on the track, is this turn to get out of the chicane. In my own testing, honestly, I think first gear works better than second, because it's that whole thing. Even though we've got a turbocharged car and you got some nice low end torque, I still think first gear puts the car on its toes enough to get you through this next corner and get that initial jump out before you shift up the second. Um, the track limits here are very, very, very generous. So let's see how far I can go without. So if I had to put the track limit line up, I would say it is probably on the grass side of the curbing. So, it's not giving me anything saying that I'm off track at this point. Let me see if I go a little bit further. Yeah. So you can use a lot more curb here than you think you can. I think for me, I still have steering dialed in. Let me back it up a little bit. So depending on what you want to do, I think for me, I'm probably still going to try and straddle it. You know, Something like this, I think, is ideally what I'm going to be aiming for. Won't always happen, um, but I won't really commit back to the throttle until I get off that curving. And at this point, it's all-wheel drive. We're on race tires. Don't be afraid to mash the gas as soon as you get off the curbing. And if you have to crank a little more steering in, you can. The tires should be able to hold up. I don't have any problems on the hards, so I'm sure with the mediums and the soft, where you guys have a lot more grip, you can just hammer the throttle once you get off that apex, and just use the steering to just muscle the car. And that's what I talk about, leaning on the tires. You can spin the tires up a little bit. You can get a little bit of squeal going, as long as you're not heating them up with excessive steering. There is a point you can, if you're on a wheel, you can dial too much steering in and really heat the tires up. You should be able to nail the throttle out of this corner. Bring it all the way out to the left, and first gear, second gear, right about where you get to the curbing. The coming back onto the oval, the car's I'm just gonna naturally let the car come up a little bit, maybe just above the repavement patch, maybe straddling it. But then again, as I was talking about on the hot laps, I'm just gonna hug. For me, I'm gonna hug this low line. Now, like any classic oval, again, we have, and this will be, I think this is more treacherous in 1 and 2 because we're going in there at higher speeds. You do have that transition where it flattens out. Be careful getting your left sides onto the bottom, onto the apron when you're in the banking corners. More critical in 1 and 2 because of the higher speed than 3 and 4. But because again, it is enough of a change depending on how much steering you have in, that it can unsettle the car and and kind of send you skittering back up the track. But it's a pretty simple lap of Eaglerock. So not much to it. So I'm going to just go ahead and do a practice race. So let's get out of here. Let's go exit. Yeah, we'll go to event menu. Yes, I know. Get all the XP. Now with and I'm taking swings here, averaging out about a 43 second lap, give or take a half second or so. Let's go to circuit race. We'll go long Eaglerock Club circuit. Figuring a 30 lap race, or 30 minutes roughly. That's gonna be. It's gonna be close to 40 laps probably, depending on what Matt wants to do. Let's see. We're gonna go random starting day, time progression, rolling. I think he's up that to 12. So weather. I'm gonna take a chance on weather, but I reserve the right. I really don't want rain. So if I get rain, I'm gonna fart around with it. Dynamic track rubber on. No. At the start. Difficulty 8. Number of drive tires. Whoops. Hopefully I don't have to back out. 23. I want all of the drive tires. What hacks? That's fine. Expert rules. Standing start. Grid ordering. Random. Oh, I'm going to drop to the back here because it's for me. It's more important for me to work traffic on this. 1 mandatory pit stop. And okay. Of course. Wet tires applied. No, I'm sorry, Forza. I go to event setup. I appreciate what you're trying to do. You're trying to make things interesting, but I don't want. It'd be nice to have a random option, like random no rain. But it is what it is. Partly cloudy, 8 a.m. Okay, I'll do that. All right, let's see what we learn in 41 laps of Eaglerock Speedway Club. Oh, I should check the car really quick. Yep, still hard, 100%. So that's the rules I have to run under. And let's go to start race. Starting at the back, or close. Well, let's see, where am I starting? Ha ha ha. Well, it looks like I don't have steering. I'm going to try a quick restart. I'm just going to restart the race and see if that's enough to undo the bug, or if I have to completely exit and come back in. Let's try this one more time. It's starting up front. Yep, still don't have steering. So my guess is this has something to do with when you're with switching between, let's say, going from going between the different types of. My suspicion is there's some sort of memory leak or stability issue switching the game type. So, all right, fine. Let's completely get out of free play. Let's go back into free play and try this again. Again, it's the pleasures and pain of Forza. Enjoy the driving, enjoy the actual, getting out there and racing, but it's all these other little things that just, and guys, we're gonna do, no, circuit, though I think I can just change the laps and then we do the same thing. Random. Do, 23 cars, that was fine. And standing, not PI, random. And mandatory pit stops 1. Okay. Fingers crossed. We'll try this again. Night race, I like it.
Racing at Eaglerock. Always consider the traffic
Cloudy.
around you in
Okay.
A-shaped Augie's corner when you pick your point to rotate your car before accelerating out.
Eloquently put. Probably better than I could do it. Let's see if we have steering this time. Hey! Oh, that's right. Alright, let's watch the calamity happen. So obviously first lap out, we're just check up early, be patient. I'd say let's just all try and get through the first lap without crashing into each other and not being too aggressive. It's a long race. Now the race begins, and the AI is always a little slow out here. I was wondering why I had so much grip. Okay, this one's on me. I forgot to, it's always very easy to forget that it resets fuel and tire. I need the hard tire compound. There we go. Now we'll start race. 4th time's a charm. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go way high into 1, slow. That should allow everybody to pass me. No, go by me for crying out loud. Why are you? Oh, somebody's spinning already. Okay, so just get through opening lap, just form up, get through the chicane. Okay. notice I'm really, for turns 1 and 2, I'm really not putting more, you know, than what? Let's see, doing a clock 10 through the oval, and certainly through here. Oh, I'm going wide because I just don't know if there's somebody. Yeah, there's somebody on my right. So yeah, what I don't want to start doing is doing something like that, because all I'm doing is heating the tires up, slowing down. Actually, I'm going a little slower, and just excessively wearing the tire. So you should just be able to. You're going to get a little bit. You're going to hear a little bit of tire scrub. You'll feel a little bit of vibration in the wheel. Little vibration there, and once the tires, at least for me, it takes about 2 laps to get the tires kind of up the temperature where I'm not feeling a lot of vibration in 3 and 4. A little bit there. Oh, thank you, Scott. I was about to say thank you to Stu for leaving me a little opening there. Oh, somebody's backwards. Oh, more people backwards. I guess I'm going to pit. What do you think? Let's talk about pit entry. Very easy pit entry. As you come out, just immediately hang it to the right, keep the foot to the floor, and it catches you right at the cement areas. That was interesting. Okay, so yeah, this will be a little bit longer pit. Custom 100% cement. So good practice for me to, you know, get through the menus. I still have a belief that the quicker that you can get through the menus, you know, you're not, and maybe that's a thing to test, that you're not adding to your pit time. I'm still trying to sort some of that out, because I find it funny sometimes where I'll follow somebody into the pit that's clearly like a second or so ahead of me, and just through the cycle of pits, I come out, you know, I leapfrog them. So part of that, I don't know if they have damage or not. I don't remember if Matt's sending damage on. So where you get released, as soon as you come out of the pits, just keep the car to the left. You know, if you got somebody on the outside that's coming into that turn, keep the car to the right, and there you go. So pit out's not that horrible. I think just pay attention to if there's a car braking for the chicane as you're exiting. And certainly if you're on a fast lap while someone's coming out of the pits, you know, alter your line so you're not chopping them into the chicane. take the high line. If you notice, the car is starting to push a little bit, but instead of trying to dial more steering in, it's easier and better for your tires. Just ease off the throttle a little bit. Save your tires some wear and tear. Oh, hello. Shall we do this dance again? Looks like I'm well clear, but I'm high, so. Use a lot of curve. Oops. You can use a lot of curve there as well. So tempting to goose the throttle before the sharp right-hander and completely miss your braking point. Pushing a little bit. Quite get the braking the way I wanted it. Avatar's having all sorts of trouble. Carried a little too much speed in there. Yeah, a little bit better of a run this time. Oh, shallow line in. Didn't want to push up like that. There's a little bit of discoloration. I don't know if that's just shadow, but where the pit lane exit is, it looks like there's a little bit of discoloration in the pavement. That might also be a good reference point. So as soon as you've got to, if you hit that apex, just and you're in there well, and you know you've got the car turning on the way out, just nail the gas. Third's better in, and then down to first from here. Should have stayed in the lower gear, buddy. Try third on the way. Third just to the left. And down to first. Higher line again. Kind of lose momentum halfway through the corner. See, that's why I leave myself wiggle room. Oh, nice little spin there. Oh, there, help straighten you out. That's something I didn't. Wow.
Is about 2 seconds.
Okay, be neat and tidy on the exit. You don't really want to use the tarmac on the left side there. Close. The thing too is, you know, on your own, if you're free to adjust your lines like that, but when you're in traffic, if you find you go into one a little too high, but somebody's kind of maybe behind you, maybe looking, the worst thing you can try and do is chop down then to the bottom. It's kind of like, just take your medicine. You go in a little high, just work with it high. You know, just in case the guy that's behind you is taking the right line and is then kind of started to overlap. So you're paying attention to your little orange directional things, markers, is very important. You'll feel if you're on the wheel now, at least if you're on the Logitech wheels, I'm not sure if it's the same on the other wheels, but when you get that initial little vibration on the wheel when you turn in, that's it's the first indication you're starting to lose grip on the tires. You can you can give it a little more steering angle if you want, but then it's also just start balancing that in conjunction with the just lifting the throttle a little bit. That was a little exaggerated, but it'll, again, it's trying to find the limit, with the limited information that the game is able to give us compared to real life. So when how much steering are you putting in? When do you start feeling that little bit of vibration in the wheel? When do you start hearing the tires go from a little chirping sound to full-on squeal like that? So let's see, I'm at a 42.6 now. I'm kind of in a no man's land at the moment, so just for kicks and giggles, I'm gonna purposely overdrive the front tires. Let's just see what the lap time looks like. Watch, it'll be faster. But my theory is it won't be. Yeah, I'm half a second off. Same thing here. So feel the front tires go. I'm just gonna. Almost half a second off. Let's try one more time. Let's just make sure. So if you're finding you're getting a lot of tire squealing like that, and you see that your front tires are heating up, that you probably want to think about how much steering you're putting in, and can you get the same results as far as keeping the car online, but making throttle adjustments instead. Maybe brake a little earlier, because we don't have accelerated tire wear in private lobbies. Sorry, there's just a weird sound I'm hearing. I'm not sure if that's in the game or the headset, but in the private lobbies we don't have accelerated tire wear yet. I'm hoping that gets added at some point. But being able to, turn quick laps and manage your tires, especially if we continue with this, our varying tire strategies, will make a big difference, because the tires do drop off. I think we were saying, at least in the last week's races, maybe around lap 20 at Mid-Ohio and Suzuka. And I even noticed it too about halfway. I tried to run long on the hard tire compound, and about 2/3 of the way in, I could tell the fronts weren't gripping as easily. I was still putting in fast laps, but then that was also in part the burning off some fuel. But the sooner you can kind of get tire management sorted out, the better. Just understand where the limits are. For the controller users, I think it's, at least my experience on the controller, it's almost impossible to dial too much steering in on the controller, at least on normal settings. I don't know about sim steering. So if you're heating the tires up going into corners, it's probably just on a controller. It's probably just you're carrying way too much speed in, and you just need to either just ease off a little sooner or brake a little sooner. Are we on? Are we almost done? Okay, hunt down Ron. I got 3 laps to do it in traffic, so traffic alone, I think, is what's going to help me here. Again, AI is still not as good through traffic as I think they should be. Oh, pushing. Just work with it. Whoop. Oh. I'm still kind of there, and I'm way high. Rodeo. Didn't hurt me too badly.
Final lap.
Yep. That is 41 laps at Eaglerock Club. Oh, 42.3. I do want to jot that down, just so I have an idea of. There it is. So that's Eaglerock Club in this Mazda 323. It should be a really fun race. Again, this car races well. We know it does draft a bit, so hopefully we'll see some good battles going down into one. It's just managing your tires and getting through the chicane cleanly. So with that, I still have to update my. I don't like that driver uniform. Why does it put me in that? Grr. The one that matches my car. Okay, so that's nope. We're not going to go to VIR. So I'm going to take a break for a little bit, and we'll come back and do Mugello Club in this car, and hopefully put some good laps in. But anyhow, sorry, my brain's thinking about other stuff. Hope you're having a great weekend so far, and happy racing.